Hi guys, this is Joe here from Rufio. Apologies if the lighting's a little bit weird on this one, and if I've got any crazy noise in the background. My dog is an absolute arsehole, and if any of them want him, you are welcome to take him. Like I say, apologies if there is any crazy noises. This is not my usual place to record videos. However, I managed to do a big balls up with my last video. Those of you who saw it already, the Time Thief video, might have noticed that I managed to leave Rota in. Now, there was a reasoning behind that. Originally, I did the build with Goblin Bugs and a couple of other targets that don't come to mind currently. And I took them out in favour of some other parts, and, well, namely the Chaos Dragons. And I forgot to take out Rota as well. Anyway, I've revised the deck because I realised that there's a couple of consistency issues, so I tried to address those. So, treat this as if the first time you've seen it. Hopefully this isn't as stupid as the last build, and hopefully nothing too crazy happens during this video. So, without further ado, I will go into the deck list. Just to clarify, this was absolutely bonkers at sneak peek, and I'm not confident that it will be entirely the same in the advanced meta, but see how it goes anyway. Being a TCG exclusive, we've got a lot we can play with, so yeah, it'll be fun anyway. So, without much further ado, it wouldn't be a Time Thief deck without Triple Winder. I'm running all of the available monsters currently. There's no reason not to as it stands, so triple of those is absolutely perfect. This is your Searcher. When it's normal or special summoned, it's going to search a Time Thief card from your deck. Really, really crucial to the tactic to try and get Reader out as quick as possible, and to load him up with different materials, ideally, and go off from there. Start interrupting, start doing crazy plays. So that's triple of those. We have triple Time Thief Regulator. So this is the best card to open, really. This is what you want to see as much as possible turn one. This, on its own, basically turns into Redoer with a couple of materials attached. Basically, the premise of this deck is it's going to be a rank toolbox deck, so you already kind of know how those work, I'm sure. But basically, you're going to want to get into your Reader as quickly as possible. This tributes off. It searches your ship and your Winder. We move on to the final Time Thief monster in the main deck. Triple Bezel Ship. So again, for much the same reasons, you want to get into that as quickly as possible. Regulator is going to help you get into Bezel Ship as quickly as possible. It also can summon itself from grave. There's a little bit of a clause in that. If you read into it, you'll be able to see how it works. But this is again going to help you climb back into your rank plays as quickly as possible, and it's level 4, so it goes perfectly. Continuing, I've got another package to work with to get us into those rank 4 plays as quickly as possible. We've got the One Trick Clown. We have triple Hat Tricker. And the One Damage Juggler. So again, these are going to help you see your rank 4 plays as quickly as possible. Your Trick Clown's going to recur itself, so it's an option to keep coming back. Hat Trick is just a free summon, and Damage Juggler will get you there as well. Moving on to the Chaos Dragons, we have 3 of each. You could mess about with the ratios, maybe a 3 and 2 ratio, something like that to make some more space. I think 3 and 3 is fine. You want to see them as quickly as possible, again, because it's going to enable you to either link climb or make your rank plays as quickly as possible. This doubles up as an allure target as well, so there is that. We've got 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 card Destruction. So one of the things that this deck really, really struggles with is being able to dig in quite quickly. This is going to help you get cards in the grave, which you can set up for later plays. This is obviously going to help you get names out of the grave and go into your plays quicker. And this is going to help you dig through your deck as quickly as possible. So yeah, I think this is absolutely perfect in here. Like I say, you want to get through as quickly as possible, and that's just going to help you get over the line. With that in mind, speaking of digging in, we've got Double Desires. So this is a bit risky. However, most of the monsters are 3-ofs, so you don't have to risk too much losing them. There is a small risk with your spells and traps, but I feel that you need to get into that rank 4 play as quickly as possible, otherwise your whole strategy dies. And so Pot of Desire is going to help you get there. There wasn't really a space for the 3rd. You could argue that you could take something else out for it. I quite like the idea of 2. You don't want to be opening multiples of this card, so 2 is going to help you just stop that from happening, or at least mitigate the risk of it as much as possible. We've got 2 Call by the Grave. So this deck very consistently loses to Ash and a couple of the other hand traps. Now, obviously, that's less of an issue where people are running Gammas and that kind of thing. But again, you know, everyone's going to have access to Ash in the upcoming format as well, especially with the reprint. Expect to see it in absolutely every deck that people can fit it in, especially at the lower ends, at your locals, that kind of thing. This is going to help you protect your plays and keep them going as much as possible. We have triple Allure of Darkness. I think there's something like 12 targets in here for Allure of Darkness. Absolutely no reason not to run it. Again, it's just going to help you dig into your deck. I think it's worth sacrificing the one monster maybe for the fact that you get to draw a couple of cards, and that's probably going to help you see another piece that you might need to get your strategy going. Now, in terms of the Time Thief cards, we have triple Time Thief Hack. This, debatable whether 3's the right number for this, however, given it is the first incarnation, I would quite like to play as many Time Thief cards as possible. If for no other reason than it's something that you can attach to the monster and get a free draw. Again, it's going to help you dig through your deck when the deck has some minor consistency issues, so that's going to help you get there. So triple Time Thief Hack works wonders, and the fact that you can just attack directly is absolutely awesome. Moving on to the trap lineup, we have triple Time Thief Flyback. This is going to help you just see the plays that you need to see. This is going to attach to your XE monster, so you can steal their bits and bobs, and you can banish it, of course, to do your other plays. Absolutely awesome. This card was MVP. Then moving on, we've got a small Solemn package. We've got the 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Solemn Warning, and 2 Solemn Strike. Now, I would have liked to play the third of these. I didn't really have the space for it again. I think that this just covers most of your bases. You are going to try and go first as much as possible. This is just going to help you protect your plays, set up your board, and sort of dig in a little bit. You know, the more you can protect your field, the better. And life points don't really matter till towards the end. You might want to consider siding these out, though, after game 1. On that note, I haven't done a side deck for this. Again, it's not a deck that I'm currently actually playing. It's stuff that I've been testing about with, fooling about with, so there isn't really a side to go with it. And of course, the new meta isn't defined yet, so it would be kind of senseless for me to advise you how to set that up. However, we move on to the extra deck. So, again, given it's a Time Thief deck, we've got triple Time Thief Redoer. Absolutely no reason not to run triple of this. This card was absolutely bonkers. It would be great to see this do well. I'm hoping that the new wave of support is going to be absolutely excellent. But this card is absolutely what you want to see as quickly as possible. Just stealing cards, interrupting their plays. It's a nice 2400 beater as well, so it's a good body on board. I love the card. I really hope it does do well going forward. Moving on, we have more toolbox cards. So that's basically what we've pimped out the extra deck with. So we've got 1 Utopia and 1 Utopia the Lightning. This is going to help you get through just over big bodies, that kind of thing. Sometimes you can get in a real sticky situation where you can't get over it, and Utopia is going to get you there and just see you through the plays that you need to see and continue as you were. We've got 1 Tornado Dragon. Again, another great utility. Back row could potentially be a problem. Lots of interrupts, that kind of thing. Tornado Dragon's always good to have access to if possible. We've got 1 Exiton Knight. Again, for the same reason. Sometimes if you brick and you can just make a rank 4, this might be the way to go and just get your players going, blow up their board and give you a chance of getting back into the game. Occasionally that's what you need, and that will help you get there. Got 1 Abyss Dweller. There are an awful lot of decks at the moment that rely on the graveyard, and this just helps shut them down. Sometimes this will win you a game on its own. Stuff like BA, that kind of thing, will really struggle for a couple of turns if you can get this on board. So yeah, absolutely awesome to have access to this, and we do have the space for it, so why not? We have 1 Bajinki Amaterasu. Now with this, it is 3 level 4s that you need to make it, so it is a bit more commitment to get there. However, I feel that it's you know, basically the equivalent of 2. Think of it like a deposit, because you're going to get one of those cards back from your banished, and this is just going to basically replace one of the materials that you've used to make it. Absolutely awesome card. It's going to help you recycle the stuff that's getting banished off your other monsters. So yeah, I absolutely love this. I've used it plenty of times before in other decks. Would highly recommend it for this one. And then just to round off the rank monsters, we've got the outer entity cards. So, these are absolutely awesome. You just shut down your opponent's plays. They can't play. There's not much more else to add to it. Again, it's just going to give you turns to get into the plays that you want to see, help you build a strategy to win the game. This is just going to help you stall out and get there and stop your opponent from playing the game, because that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about, right? And then we move on to our link monsters, just to round it off. So we've got one Underclock Taker. Again, it's got a downward arrow, so you can pop anything underneath it and just put a nice big body on board. Something like Redoer is ideal to have underneath, because you can shrink their monster by quite a significant amount, especially once he gets bumped up with all those extra materials and you've got Hack on field. And this is just going to help you, you know, try and go for OTKs, or at least get big damage on board. We've got one Repredicus and one Summon Sorceress. These go hand in hand. You already know the plays with these. I'm sure I don't need to elaborate too much. This is just going to help you get your plays going. Nice, cool engine. And yeah, it's just absolutely awesome. There's a reason that people want to see that card banned. And then to finalise, we just have the one Decode Talker. So this is just your big body. It's another way to get a couple of downward arrows, another couple of places to pop your XE monsters. I didn't put too many links in here because a lot of the time they are going to get focused into seeing those rank monsters to toolbox your way out of situations. But having those couple of arrows to have access to is absolutely awesome. Like I say, this deck isn't perfect. It is something that I've just been toying with, so there will be some inconsistencies. There will be things that can be improved, but it is a starting point. And this is a TCG exclusive, so we have got kind of everything in our hands to just play it however we want to play it. We can keep trying stuff out and see how it goes. And like I say, it's not perfect as it is. It'll be interesting to see what the next lineup of support is, because that's going to really determine how far the deck will go. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to share this with you as an idea of how we could build a deck. I'm not saying this is perfect or absolutely how to play it. I would highly recommend you playtest any decks you see online, not just my own, anyone else's, because really that's the only way you'll get a feel for how good they are, and not just to mention how good they may be, how they are for you. Luckily, this is a budget deck, so tons of people are going to be keen to pick this up and give it a try, especially with the performance at Sneak Peeks. It's not just me that's felt this. Absolutely everyone I'm speaking to has said this has been the MVP, and they're really excited to try this out. I've got a few other deck builds in mind for this, so they'll be coming up in the future, and especially depending on how the rest of the support goes, depends on what direction those take. But thank you very much for checking in. Big shout out to Mark, as always, for giving me a great space to record. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I'm afraid that's all we have time for in this video. If by chance you haven't had enough of listening to me waffle at you through a video about a children's card game, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are on the screen, or if you're feeling really lazy, you can click the links in the description. While you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content too. It'll make me smile, I promise. And who can ask for more than that? Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.